Welcome back to the channel, my fellow language learners. In today's video, I'm so excited to summarize for you last week's game and also talk about the upcoming game. So first, really quickly, last Saturday, I had the pleasure to host a Mandarin round of heading into Language Land. And one of our top players from 2023 came out. Shout out to Chow. Chow is now studying Mandarin, but I think even more so Turkish. Lucky for her, we have groups that play this game regularly in those two languages, so she'll be able to come out more often. Mandarin is my target language, so it's nice to be able to see you in those games. Chow, I hope to see you more. And Augustina came out, who's a fairly newer player. Congrats to her for coming out, showing up, trying something a little bit new, a little bit different, putting herself to the test. Rilk was in the room. He's an old friend. He's come out many times over the years. And he also really loves learning languages through games and game design, stuff like that. He's a native Mandarin speaker, so he was able to teach and guide us. And also one of my newer friends, Alex, who he's also a native Mandarin speaker, but he was having a little bit of tech trouble to join us. So he and I played on a team, and I shared him. I did a screen share with him, and so on. But we had a really great game, and I think in the end, Chow and my team, we were tied for the win with 8 points. But that was really, really fun, and a lot of new and interesting Mandarin terms came out. And we worked on our pronunciation a lot with each other, so that was really valuable. Now, on the next Saturday, it's going to be Turkish language, and you can see the date and time of the game in the title of this video. But basically, guys, what we're doing, if you're unfamiliar with it, is we're playing an online card game that I've designed specifically for language learning. And we're going to use the cards. The cards have different topics. We're going to put the cards out, move around them like they're spaces, flip them over, find different topics to talk about. And basically the game is very collaborative, it's very supportive. We don't play in a fiercely competitive way. So you're going to be able to look up things you want to say or get some ideas from other people. If we all learn and we all help each other, we all win. That's truly how we look at it. We do keep track of points, but it's kind of like a little bit more of a gimmick. So we're playing this game. It's a fantasy-themed game. It's called Heading into Language Land. I have a deck of the real cards right here. Of course, we're playing the online version, the virtual version when we do these games on Saturday. But what we're trying to do is motivate people to keep studying their language, to have some enrichment built in, something that's fun, a way to meet other people. We're keeping track of our top players' progress, and at the end of the year, we're going to reward them. So if you want to try this, you can visit languagecardgames.com, because I will always put the schedule of games there, and you can sign up there. It's really fast and easy to do. Some of the common questions people have, people say, I don't know if I feel quite ready yet. Is my level good enough? Long story short, we accept all levels. We really want to be encouraging and inclusive to everybody. Now, if you are a beginner, a lot of these topics you might have trouble to give an example of or talk about. Now, you might think it's fun, and we're quite willing to help you. So if that's the case, if we can be an inspiration to you and take you under our wing, as it were, then I strongly welcome you to come out and join us. Yeah, but if you feel like that's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, then maybe you should study a little bit more first and make sure you have all the basics of your language under your belt. But I really think anybody can join if they have the right mindset. One other thing I should mention too is that we do have pre-built study guides for some of our groups. We have core groups that are active right now for Mandarin, Spanish, and Japanese. And our Turkish group seems to be growing stronger. But if you would like the study guide in advance, which gives some examples and ideas for all the topics that are in the game, you can just let me know and I'll shoot you that in advance and you can peruse that. Now, our goal is to make your language learning process truly unforgettable. We want the memories of what you've spent time studying to go deep. And one of the best ways for that to happen is to use your target language in association with other people to share vivid memories and funny stories, things that happened to you, things that came up in your life that you know about and you can share with us. That's what helps us to remember what we're learning and also to connect and make friends. The problem that I think a lot of people have nowadays is that they think they can just go it alone and do this language learning journey alone. And to be honest, you can if you really, really want to, but I think more often than not, that type of language learning for people turns into a mere academic exercise or a mental stimulation, but they don't know how to actually use the language because they don't practice that for potentially years. They're happy enough to just study alone in their bedroom, copying, maybe reciting, doing textbook exercises, keeping up with their apps, posting their progress maybe on social media. I think all of that stuff is good, not bad, but you shouldn't delude yourself into thinking that if you only do that, you're going to be able to interact with others and actually use the language. There's a whole lot going on there. When you do that, you have to have a really open ear that could hear different types of people, perhaps slightly different pronunciations, different accents. They're going to know words that you don't know and vice versa. And you're going to have to speak well enough that other people can understand you. That's tricky to do. You might think when you're studying alone that you're really hot stuff, but get into a conversation with other people, it's a whole nother level. So we're trying to make that happen in a way that is safe and fun and inclusive. And you're going to meet people from all over the world who are interested in learning your target language too. And I can tell you from last week's game in Mandarin, one of the things I enjoyed the most was the fact that I could understand people from different countries and we could talk together in a language that was not our own, Mandarin. So that made me feel good. That made me feel proud and confident in myself and the other players. It's a special thing, I think, to be able to communicate, two people communicating in a language which is not the language of their native country, their native place. Now, some people will say, it's a game. Can I really learn a foreign language through a game? Well, keep in mind, I'm not advocating that this is the only thing you should do. I primarily see this as a form of enrichment that you would build into your more traditional study routine. So yes, study by yourself, join that class, join that program, maybe get the study guide from me or study some of the topics in the game in advance, get yourself prepared. But then, once or twice a month, come out and play with us. Put what you know to the test and learn some fun things about different topics that you don't normally encounter in a textbook or a class. There's so many colorful topics in this game that get people talking and sharing fun stories, and we get to learn unusual and cool things that you don't typically learn through traditional routes. Now, just imagine this. If you are learning if you're learning one of the target languages that we have a group for, that's great. But imagine if you happen to be learning 2 or even 3 of the target languages which we have groups for. You could potentially come out every Saturday, or maybe 2 Saturdays a month, or 3 Saturdays a month. You already know how to play the game. You may start to encounter more and more of the same people in different rooms, and this could be a really great way to add strength and vibrancy to your language learning process. Again, the groups that we have right now are Mandarin, Japanese, Spanish, and Turkish. And some of our players who come out, they're learning 2 or 3 of those languages. In some rare examples, I think some of the people are learning or know all 4 of those languages. So it's really, really a fantastic thing that they can come out to join us so frequently and also sort of cross-pollinate in the different groups and meet different people. The time we usually play is on Saturdays at 9 p.m. China time. I live in China. That shakes out to be, right now, 9 a.m. New York City time. Okay, so think eastern seaboard of the United States. That's 9 a.m. on Saturday for them. but the United States and many other countries, they do change their clocks at different points during the year. China never does, so I like to kind of state things in China time. But that's the time we usually play. So it's morning time for the Americas, afternoon for Europe, Asia, Middle East, and evening time for Asia. So it gives a pretty good chance, creates a pretty good opportunity for most people to be able to join us in the world fairly easily. If you live on the west coast of the United States, it's pretty early on a Saturday. A lot of people don't really like to do that, and I get that, but we're doing the best that we can. I can't make it too much later because then it's really late here for me, and I got family and I've got kids, and so 9 p.m. is about the latest I want to go. But if our groups grow strong and more people come out, and we want to form groups for different languages or different times, we potentially can do that. You just got to let me know you're interested, and I'm going to keep you on a list as I build up other languages, and we could potentially set up some pop-up games for different days and times or different languages. So how can you reach me? You can leave a comment on this video. You can email me at languagecardgames.events@gmail.com, or you can visit languagecardgames.com. There's a sign-up form there, the schedule of games, our leaderboards there, and there's a blog article that discusses in detail the game and what we're doing and how we play. It's stuck to the top of my blog section right now. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Chow, Augustina, Rilk, and Alex for coming out to last Saturday's Mandarin game, and I'm so excited for the players who are going to come out already interested, already signed up for the upcoming Turkish game on the next Saturday. But that's it for this video. Bye-bye for now, and I'll see you back here next time.